Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Asqar Naqvi. I am originally from Pakistan and then moved to Canada. I and my whole family are living in Toronto, Canada for the last over 32 years. In fact, after visiting the Haram in 1971, it was long overdue that I should have visited much earlier, but because of some commitments, unfortunately, I could not make it. Lately, my wife insisted that it's about time that we should go. Although my wife is not feeling well, but she insisted that we should go, and we decided to visit the Imam's Rawda. Now, basically, we had a lot of I should say concerns regarding the stay and safety and food and hotel conditions, and as a matter of fact, until the last moment we were debating whether or not we should go. Because of these conditions, my wife is sick, and I am also carrying quite a few of these illnesses. Ultimately, my son, who is a cardiologist, Aref Naqvi, and my daughter, who is a chartered accountant, they both decided to accompany us and to accompany the mother to look after her in Canada, in Zyarah. They both assured that they will look after every aspect no matter what happens, and I am glad to say that my son and daughter, they sacrificed and came along with us, and they are very nicely looking after their mother. Now, as far as our concerns about the safety, sanitary conditions, food and all that, I put it on record that all our concerns were false. Basically, after visiting Iran and then coming back to Karbala and Najaf, I am telling you the best facility I got is in Karbala. My children are very happy. They have got every facility to visit the Haram, and they have, as a matter of fact, they are having their best time of their life in Karbala. It's a lot of satisfaction, and both of them, including my other son Asif and my other daughter Farah, and their families, they have basically decided that immediately we go back to Canada, they will be coming here to visit the Imams and all the Rawzas. And I am encouraging each and every one that as and when they get the opportunity, they must pay the visit to the holy places of Karbala, Najaf, Qom, where we have been. When for the first time when I saw the dome of Imam Hussein and Hazrat Abbas, yes, we were all crying. It was the sentiments we cannot put in words. Same way, whatever the other places we have visited, like yesterday we visited the place where Hazrat Abbas' right shoulder and left shoulders were cut and severed. We were all crying. We saw the tents of the Ahl Bayt. We were all crying. This was something we were looking for a long time. It is a very, very good experience, especially for my son and daughter, who are basically here for the first time. We would love to continue or stay longer, but we have some other commitments, and we will be leaving this place with a heavy heart. Basically, I congratulate you people that you have, started this program, which is a wonderful one. And I was amazed to see the dome of Hazrat Abbas now. I could never imagine that I would be able to see a picture like this. Everyone who asks Imam Hussain is always basically asked for the health, safety, security of the families and the loved ones. But on top of it, I asked from Imam Hussain that we should have complete unity, at least in our Shia faith. And we are always looking for that we get proper guidance from our leadership. And our leadership is all Maraja and Ayatullahs. But I can also tell you that I have got the opportunity to meet Ayatollah Muhammad al-Shirazi while I was in Mashhad. I had a very useful discussion. Then I had the honor to visit in Najaf Grand Ayatollah Sistani. Although it was a few minutes, stay with him, but it was very inspiring and very encouraging, because when I saw the message he was giving to the people, that looks like that he is well informed. He knows the problems of the world Shia community. I have also had the opportunity in Najaf to see Ayatollah Hafiz Bashir. Very useful discussion. He gave me all his literature, and I will be in touch with him. And finally, here in Karbala, I am hoping that I can have an appointment with Ayatollah Qazwini. So what I am trying to say, that even this leadership are very actively working and guiding us so that we remain united. And I tell you, the message with all these Ayatollahs is that we should make progress, we should have a better education, and we should do and see a better future for the whole community. My final message is, we should be working absolutely for the unity and progress and better education for the children. No matter what happens, our children have to compete with this world in every aspect of life. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Aref Naqvi. I am from Canada. I was born in Toronto. I was born in Pakistan, but we moved to Toronto at a young age. This is my first time ever in Karbala, and it is an incredibly touching and overwhelming experience, and I am very blessed and pleased to share this with you. Well, as a Shia Muslim, it is always something that you want to do, but the reality is that in the Western world, life gets in the way. You've got kids, and your kids have got school, and you've got work to do, and so this, and it just keeps on getting put off. On this occasion, it was actually my parents, particularly my mother. She has been feeling unwell, and she wanted to come in and she wanted to visit. Her health is not good enough that I would want her to travel alone, and I thought it was essential that I travel with her. So while always looking for it for my own personal satisfaction and blessings, this trip was necessitated by my parents. So both my parents have some health conditions, and so I came along with my sister. My sister would assist with the care of my mother, and I was looking after both of them health-wise. Well, you know, there's a lot of fear, and if you tell your friends I'm going to Iran or Iraq, their first thing is travel safe, and there's always the fear of Daesh or war or bombings, etc. And so obviously that's what we heard. Now, we have some close friends who had visited, and so they had told us that this area was reasonably safe. But regardless of the condition, we were going to come because my mother really did wish to attend. So there was apprehension, but we were going to attend anyway. It's the exact opposite. So, and I was remarking on that with my mother just the other day. You get past the checkpoints, and once you get past the checkpoints, the security is incredible. You can walk here at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to the holy shrines, and you can walk and do shopping at whatever hour of the day, and it makes no difference, and it's entirely safe, and you don't think about it. And to be honest, you can't feel this safe anywhere in the world. There's so much hustle, bustle, so it's the exact opposite of what people think. The other thing that we were worried about was cleanliness and water and infections, and as a physician, that's what I came here for, worried about the facilities. And so I'm very pleased to say that from my first-hand experience, the cleanliness is amazing. There's a lot of care, world-class food. So all the facilities are there, and then you get the added advantage of being in such a blessed environment. Well, we're all a little selfish, and so there's always first about the family, immediate family, about their health and success and happiness, and the friends who ask you to pray on their behalf. But my personal hope, I think, is also that we as a Muslim community, and then as a human community, we come together and then unite, and we don't let differences divide us or certainly lead to violence. That I don't think that a lot of times we think of being Shia or being Sunni or being Muslim. I think we're humans first, and that's what our Imams have taught us, to be decent human beings first and foremost. So my next door neighbor in Toronto is Jewish, and he's a very good friend, and I don't think that religions or belief systems should divide people. I don't think they're a cause for war. I think this is more all political, and so my hope is to see the world, the Shias, the Sunnis, the Muslims, and the non-Muslims live together in peace and harmony and progress. On a personal level, when we hear about the stories of Karbala in Muharram, it is really very difficult to envision everything. So we listen to a lot of these things and repeatedly every year. But when you come here and you see what Karbala is, and you make that drive from Najaf to Karbala, and you see the places where the events transpired, it makes it a whole lot more 3D for us to be able to picture it and to be able to understand it and to feel those emotions and to understand the sacrifice that our Imam gave for us and for all of humanity. So it really is an experience that, having gone through it, I immediately feel the need to extend that to my wife and kids and my brother and sister. And every night I go home and I get on my iPad and I text people what I did, and they're just in awe of what it is that we're doing. And so You know, it's an incredible experience. You know, we're all different. There are those that are dividers and those that have broader views. So my friends tend to have broader views. They're Sunnis and they're Christians and they're Jewish people and they're of course Shias. I think you'll find in every group there are those that tend to divide and those that tend to unite. So for instance, my Jewish friends will go and they'll perform their Aliyah and they'll go to Israel, and I don't disrespect them any less for that, and I'm sure they don't to me because I came here. And so I think it's difficult to generalize. It's more an individual thing. So some people may feel negatively about it. Some people may feel extremely positive about it. That's really, you know, an individual response. You know, I don't consider myself good enough or blessed enough to have that honor, but should that happen, I would feel very blessed, and I would think that he would be guiding me and all of humanity towards peace and prosperity and finishing of wars, and so I'd be seeking his guidance towards that goal. My final message is that certainly for the Shias who are watching this, who have apprehensions and concerns about coming to Iraq because of the stuff you might have heard in the media, I certainly have not experienced this, and I would endorse fully the idea of coming to Zyarah, and I hope that inshallah when you do come that you feel as blessed and as honored as I do to be here. So I wish you well, and I wish you safe travels.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.